Hi, welcome to the live stream this morning. So I'm going to be channeling Archangel Raphael, and Raphael will be coming through me to give messages to do with what's going on at the moment for the people listening, and also talking briefly about the week ahead. Um, and yes, I'm going to let him come in and speak through me. And just before we begin, I just want to mention a friend, a colleague of mine, Rachel Fairhurst. And Rachel's a trauma specialist. So I'm mentioning her, for those of you who may feel that you're struggling, with deep trauma in your system, perhaps post-traumatic stress. And Rachel and I have actually done a lot of work together. And she's amazing at, with trauma, all kinds of trauma, and she's qualified in very deep, somatic work, working very much with the body, working with the physiology of it, working with scientifically with it. But she's also working very multidimensionally. She's very gifted at seeing energy, working on many different dimensions, soul retrieval, working in similar ways to Archangel Raphael, where many different levels are sort of worked with. And so we've had amazing sessions, incredible things have happened. So I just wanted to mention her. So if any of you feel like the core of your issues are very deep, severe trauma, I'd highly recommend having some sessions with her, to really go deep into that and clear that from the body. And so her details are going to be on the description, and there'll be an email address, and also a number so she can be contacted through WhatsApp. So you can always send her a message or WhatsApp if you're interested in having a session. So yes, I just wanted to give her a mention. Um, yes, I'm just going to bring in Archangel Raphael, and we'll see. Let's see what happens. I would like you to know that what I am actually seeing is that there are many messages at the moment which are able to be communicated with all of you. Because what I'm actually seeing is that there is a general receptivity to receiving greater information. And that is because a lot has already been processed. A lot has actually been very much in one way or another assimilated when it comes to your personal life experiences. So there is actually more room in all of you for information to come in. So, what I would like to speak about today is actually the growing number of people who are very much about healing and wellness. People who have not considered this in the past as their road, but they are actually waking up, feeling that it is their path to actually go forwards with healing and wellness. And what I will say about this is that because of this general rise in popularity when it comes to healing and wellness, method, tools, techniques, there will actually be a lot of people who will be coming in with new ways of doing things, higher ways, ways which have not been seen before. And because of this, some of you may actually feel that there are things that are going on which are actually beyond your understanding. Things are about to get more advanced, much more about going much deeper into the light of oneness, and in this way, resurrecting tools that have not been seen on earth for a long time. What I would like you to know is that because of this, it is really important to stay connected to your inner knowing, your sense of what is right for you and what isn't, to not get confused by everything that is going on. Because actually, with new tools and techniques, there is always going to be a lot of hype, a lot of people saying a lot of positive things, and it can lead to confusion and some degree of chaos for a while, where people have a sense that perhaps something will help them, when actually it is not for them. But perhaps all the hype around it may make them believe that it would be good. The reason I'm saying this is because I want you to stay really connected to your own path, to not get distracted by this. Because although this is a very positive thing, it is also a bit like something that perhaps after a while will die down, and it will become more like this is available, but it is not necessarily for everyone. It will actually get more grounded in everyday life. And after a while, people will just know what is right for them and what is not. So, what I will say is no matter how good something is, it doesn't mean it is for you. It may be, but it is important to go within and feel into it, to know that when new things come into being, it is always exciting, but it doesn't mean that it is for everyone. The second message I have is that because of this, you will find that your problems will be more easily solved, that whatever is going on in you will be able to be solved. And for this reason, there will be a lot more energy available for actually doing things in the world which are more creative, which are more about bringing in new things into the world, whether these are more like things which involve people, community, or whether these are other things which are perhaps more product based, more physical. But what I will say is there will be more generally around in life that is creative, that is interesting. And because of this, again, you need to be discerning, feel out what is for you and what is not. And for those of you who perhaps have felt for a long time in some sort of state of famine, drought, when it comes to these things, you may feel a bit overwhelmed. For those of you who have perhaps been doing work on yourselves for a long time, being part of the cosmic collective, doing things on many levels, you may suddenly feel that there is so much going on when it comes to the type of cosmic energies you are used to working with, and feel that perhaps it is just all too much, not knowing what to do and what not to. And for you in particular, remember to go really deep inside, feel things out, to have a sense of what is really working for you, what is not, what sort of things you want to be involved in, what sort of projects appeal to you. Don't be in any way fooled by the amount there will be available in the world, because some of it will simply be old energies which are being recycled. So, things you already know about, which are in some way or another repackaged in a new form. Perhaps things you have explored, even in a creative context. Perhaps products you already have, but they are just in some way or another presented in another way by a new set of people. And then other things will be really interesting. They will be new things, things which will bring you a lot. So just be very mindful of this. Go within. And if you have a sense that something you see, you already know about, you have already done, you already do yourself perhaps, then it is not necessary to go forwards in this direction. It may even be, for example, a type of training course you are interested in, but then you realize you already have that skill set, but you have just done it in another way. I hope I am making sense. What I am really trying to do is help you ground your own frequency of light on earth. And through this grounding, really know what is right for you and what is not. You don't have to go over old ground. You don't have to keep doing things you have already done, learning things you already know about. That I hope I am making sense. And my final message is that when it comes to all that will be available in the world, it is really good to know that some of it is actually genuinely new. It is genuinely new information. And this is what is really going to be interesting to explore, the things which are right for you when it comes to new information. And perhaps what you will find is that through this, you are able to actually go deeper into your purpose. I have more things to say. I would like you to know that every single person in the world will actually be able to flourish in the new age, that it is no longer a time where only certain people thrive. It is for everybody to thrive, everybody to be able to do what they are here to do. But for this reason also, it is not so much about how you are presenting yourself in the world. You don't have to look a certain way, be a certain way in order to be accepted. Whereas in the past, it was like this. It was about presenting yourself in a certain way, perhaps fitting a type of energy configuration that the world accepted. But it is no longer like this. And regardless of who you are, the colour of your skin, the way that you are talking, presenting yourself, your background, you will find that you have a place in life. And because of this, some people who have perhaps put a lot of effort into fitting in, into presenting themselves in a certain way. Perhaps they have really worked on how they speak, how they look, how they are generally. Perhaps even done things like try to change the colour of their skin, the way they appear to the world. They may feel a bit annoyed, actually, that people who are doing none of this are flourishing in the world, who are being exactly as they are, who are talking as they talk, perhaps coming from backgrounds which are not considered very much about flourishing in the world, doing well, making money, having success. And because of this, there will be some degree of resistance to this, some annoyance by certain types of people, certain groups of people. So, what I would like you to know is just because some people may feel annoyed that you are flourishing, that you are doing well, when you are not really making any adjustments whatsoever to how you are, when you are actually just being yourself, it doesn't mean that it is in any way going to impede your progress in life. It is okay to annoy some people. It is really okay because it is how they are. It is to do with the things that they have valued in the world. It is to do with the old world, the way they have been, their beliefs. And if you are annoying them, it is simply just a part of the process. I am also saying this to those of you who perhaps feel that you have had a lot of persecution, perhaps because of the colour of your skin or other things. It is really going to be that you will make progress in the new age easily. It is already the case, but it is going to become more like this. My final message about this is that those people who have been responsible for persecuting others because of how they have been will actually find that they themselves will have some of the same come back to them until they come back into alignment, until they are actually true to themselves, until they actually start to realize that life is about authenticity rather than fitting a certain stereotype. I hope I am making sense, but the message I'm giving is important to all of you, even to those of you who have felt that perhaps there is something wrong with how you look, how you appear, maybe have suffered from some body dysmorphia because of how you are in some way looking. It is important for you to know that actually, regardless of how you look, it is going to really be about you being authentic, that you don't have to fit in at all. Quite the opposite. It is about being precisely as you are. I have more things to say, and I want you to know that because of the way things are at the moment in the world, you may find that sometimes you are not actually feeling so good about going outside and being part of things. Because there is a lot of negative energy around, a lot of chaos. And for those of you who feel this way, actually, you don't have to go out and do things. You can actually just be in your own energy. No one is asking you to go out and be a part of the world unless you really want to be. But it is a time for going inwards generally, a good time to do your own thing and only do things if you really want to. But you don't have to. I hope this makes sense. I have a few more things to say. I want you to know that when you go through a lot inside, it is not always going to be about you. Sometimes it is, but sometimes you are picking up external energies and then going through processes. And because of this, what I would like you to know is that it is very important to stay connected to yourself and to know what is yours and what is not. And when you have a sense that what you are feeling inside is not yours, it is important to clear the energy away. Because when you process what is yours, you are actually evolving on a soul level. You are growing as a person. But when you start trying to process what isn't yours, you are actually not helping anyone. You are not growing yourself, and other people are not either. So it is really important to differentiate between what is yours and what is not. And when it is not yours, simply send it away through whatever method, tool, technique that you know. My final message to all of you is that when you are suffering from a lot of trauma in your system, this cannot be fixed by simply sitting alone with it. When you have a lot of deep trauma, it is actually something else altogether. It does actually involve many different energies, both internal ones and external ones. So, what I mean by this is with deep trauma, it does tend to attract negative energies from others, through others. It can actually be connecting in with larger energy packages, which are actually created by darker forces. So, an example is that where you have been abused sexually, this does normally connect in with much larger frequencies that exist in the world that are often created by darker forces. So, where you are traumatized here in your body, there will be a whole energy you connect in with that locks it in place, that keeps attracting the same energy to you, but also keeps you in a trauma state, even when you are alone. And so, for larger energies within you, this does often require assistance from others. Not always, but often, because it is helpful to have someone to guide you through the process of clearing it, disconnecting you from the larger energies which are in one way or another locking it in place. and helping you to clear it fully from your body so you no longer attract the same energy. So you are free from the energy packages that exist in the ether that are connected to it. And when you have fully disconnected, you will feel free. You will no longer feel triggered or traumatized when you are in that frequency, and you will be able to walk away easily from anything that has that energy configuration. What I will say about this is that this sort of energy needs to be cleared from all of you who have it. And when I speak about severe trauma, I am speaking about things which have been deliberate, things which have been very much around abuse. And abuse is very much deliberate. So there is trauma that is not deliberate. It has just happened, and it has perhaps been created by chaotic energies. And so that sort of trauma can be someone suddenly dying in some sort of road accident and you witnessing it and feeling traumatized by it. But the other sort of trauma I'm speaking about is deliberate, and it does often involve darker energies, entities, demons, and so forth. And it is this sort of trauma that often needs a lot of support from others in order to fully clear. I hope I am making sense, but I want to touch on this subject for those of you who have experienced this so that you can consciously work on this and really go deep into clearing it fully and completely from your system. I have no more messages. I would like you to know that the week ahead will generally be a good one, a week where many things are able to happen. But it does not mean that it will be free of any drama or stress. You may find there are things going on which perhaps feel a bit difficult to process, assimilate. But these things will be able to be processed by giving yourself time and space. That is all. Hmm. Yeah, so thank you everyone for listening, and yeah, wishing you a good weekend and a good week ahead. Yeah, and just to mention that there'll be two groups this week, deep clearing groups, one on Tuesday, one on Friday evening, in case you wanted to join. And if you can't actually make that time live on Skype, you get sent a recording which contains all the frequencies. It's just as powerful, the recording. And also, if anyone wishes to join the shamanic protocol, the new week will start from tomorrow. Yeah, so anyway, much love to all of you and have a good week.